Ricky Flicks, episode 9 of Andor, where we left off. Narkina 5, that's where we find Cassidy Andor. We have Deidre hot on his heels, going to Ferrex. We left off with her interrogating Bix. I just want to get your impression of this episode. Episode 9, we've been seeing this episode follows in 3-episode arcs. This is the arc of potentially the third sector we have here. What do you think of this episode?
That's exactly what I thought. It's following the classic arc, and the first half sure it had a couple like interrogation scenes that on paper seemed like, oh yeah, that's gonna get the audience going like that. But to me, like it was still run of the mill. Like I wasn't too interested, to be honest. But the second half of the episode in the prison, similar to what we talked about last week, in the prison with Andy Serkis, with Cassian Andor. That's what I'm interested in. And when we got to the second half of the episode, that's what we were working with. Cassian's trying to figure out how he's going to escape. He's trying to get Andy Serkis to tell him details, but Andy Serkis is being Andy Serkis and they ain't having it. But then we get the spin. Your boy Brooks, who that you comped on Twitter, in the spin with that character. And then you know what? Holy crap. Yeah, the Empire is evil, and they just did some evil type crap here. And next episode, they're setting up for a prison escape, hopefully. So, yeah, they had us in the first half, but we got them at the end. The second half, comeback, good episode overall.
Is it weird that this is my favorite episode?
Yeah, it's weird.
Ricky, I don't know. It might be the power of Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis, whenever he's like in this show, it just commands my attention. I think it's just the big name that he is, but also what a great supporting actor he is in everything he does. Like, I don't think Andy Serkis has ever missed as a supporting actor. I think this is finally going into, this is the Empire we all have come to hate. People have been like trying to like make the argument, Deidre, it's kind of like a character that you root for throughout this show. After this episode, you see the evil that Deidre is and what she's willing to do, right, to stomp out rebellion, right? And she is the symbol of everything we hate about Star Wars now, right? So, like, what did you think? Like, Deidre, when she, like, spoilers, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen Andor, Deidre, when she is interrogating Bix, and they have, I think it's Dr. Gorth, which is a great torture guy name, by the way. Like putting that helmet on her and torturing her. And there's that scene, and this is what makes it like prestige Star Wars television. It's when they show her put the mask on, the zoom in on the camera on her face and her screaming and the pain that she's going through this interrogation sequence. I think that moment sold me alone, where Deidre is now just one of the most detestable characters I've seen in a Star Wars show. What were your impressions of Deidre here and like her full turn to complete evilness in this?
Yeah, like last episode, I had the start of this thought I'm about to say, but now it's confirmed. Yeah, she is not turning to the good side here. She's not turning to the rebels, and that's kind of sad. I thought she'd be a great turn. Like that would be a classic turn. And the same thing goes for the creep follower guy that we've been talking about. What's his name?
Cyril.
Same thing with him.
Weird moment.
And yeah, I did not like that. And I'm fine with that happening, but do it in a better way. I thought that was poorly written. His whole soliloquy there to her made no sense whatsoever.
I didn't know what he was going for. Is he flirting with her and he's saying like, I love you? Or is he saying like, I want to work for you? Or I don't know what his end goal was. I think it'll be further explained in the next episode.
But definitely confusing there. Still don't like that storyline or character, even with the promotion, whatever. The possibilities there with that character, I no longer even have an inkling of care for it. We'll see, though. But going back to your original question, yeah, she's dead to me. As in, yeah, she's on the dark side. She's up there with all the other dark characters that have been in the Star Wars universe, as in people that are just evil and I hate. She's there now. Congratulations.
It also seems like, I don't know if this is the case or not, but like the birthmark on her face really shine through during this episode. I'm like, I see the evilness now. I think it just plays in. Maybe they let up on the makeup and they said this girl is really evil on the outside now, and you cannot root for her. You are literally forced to root
But
against her in this
this
episode.
is gonna sound mean, and no offense
As
to
mean as
any.
I just said, is this going to be meaner than I just said?
Yeah, this is gonna be meaner, and it's gonna go off of what you said because I think you're exactly right. I wasn't gonna say this on the pod because I thought it was gonna be mean, but I think it's a directorial decision to have that be so pronounced, to make it look even more her be even more evil.
Ugly.
Ugh, like, yes, but
I'll say it.
that's why, like, I wasn't gonna bring this up on the pod, but you said it. But, like, yeah, I think they tried to make it seem like that.
She's also, like, raising an upper lip a lot, it just seemed like
Yes,
she is not, because like, the way we've seen her in previous episodes, like, she's one to root for within the ISB because, like, she's almost like an underdog and she's gaining
yes,
momentum, and then
not
now we
anymore.
see her and what she's done when power has consumed her and when she's given full reins to do whatever she wants in Ferrex, and she's only being, like, by her boss, I forgot at the ISB what his name is, but he's only encouraging her at this point now where she feels like she can do whatever she wants. And I'm nervous for my boy Cassian. I love the idea that we're setting up for a prison break probably next episode, just because he has to keep his head on a swivel now. Like he doesn't even know this is coming. He has to worry about his life. And he has to worry about being recycled in the prison system for years on end at this point, right? After we have the huge reveal that these prisoners, right, they're just being sent to different bases, and one got sent back to the same base on a different level, and they had to fry everyone within a whole squad, right, or a whole sector of Narkina 5 because they found out they're just recycling prisoners and no one is being freed. And I thought it was a perfect way, the way that Andy Serkis, his character, Kino Aloy, one who only has, 200 shifts left, then he's out of there. But he ain't getting out. And
And
when he
shifts are
realized that,
like
like
40
that,
shifts is less than a week. Like,
right.
so 200 shifts is less than, like, 2 weeks or
That reveal was so huge, and that final line was so chilling when he says finally, Cassian's constantly talking to him saying, hey, how many guards do we have on each floor? And then it was such an iconic line. This is going to go down in Star Wars history, bro, where he says no more than 12, because he was so resistant to the idea of rebellion and overthrowing, right, the empire, at least like the security of this base, and it just got you jacked up because the next episode is gonna be a banger, bro. It's gonna be a banger.
and so 2 predictions related to next episode. Or no, one related to next episode, one to the season, one with the breakout. Like, yeah, sure, like the cycling the prisoners through and never actually releasing them. That was a good twist. I like that. Um, but we know that Cassian's getting out at some point, which again, a prequel series, when you do things like that, it hurts it. So again, like it's just because you lose that surprise factor. So yeah, that does make it harder. So probably my guess is Andy Serkis is dead next
Oh,
episode
100%.
on the breakout. And
Right.
that helps Andy
Put him on
Serkis because then
watch.
he's officially out of the Star Wars franchise and he had his time now. And hopefully on to bigger and better things besides Alfred. Get him in more stuff, non CGI. Hopefully he's on to bigger and better things, becoming a better actor. I know he's into the directing game, but again, he did Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Hopefully he does something better if he does stay in the director's chair instead of actually on the screen. But second prediction goes back to the woman, forget her name already, that we were just calling ugly, even though she's not.
New segment idea. So this movie's been unafraid to kill characters, right? Going back to episode 5 and episode 6, excuse me, what played out during the heist. This should have been a segment during House of the Dragon, but it's to put him on watch. This is to put him on watch. And it's Andy Serkis because he's gone.
Goner.
He is not going to be here for the remainder of the season. I'd be shocked. He already was a main villain or antagonist of the sequel trilogy. He's making an appearance here. It's almost like when you see him, he's dying sooner rather than later. So I couldn't agree more. Kino Lloyd, put him on watch.
Second prediction.
Yeah.
Who's the woman again that we just, again, like with the mole or whatever?
Deidre?
Deidre. Again, so I'm changing my prediction from the first 3 episodes here when I thought she would make the turn to the rebels. She's gonna get out of hand here and either die or lose position of power. Something bad's gonna happen to her within the Empire because she's gonna make a mistake or overreach or something. She finally got the trust, right? She's went from an underdog story to now an alpha, and she's gonna slip up at some point this season, and she won't even like she might not even make it to next season as a prominent character.
Yeah, she seems like she's going all out right now. I can't see her like going this hard for
Burnout.
multiple
It's
seasons,
gonna
you
burn
know?
out.
Just how you burn out, literally. And this show is too real to not feel that burnout there. Olaf, our guy, he did give me Brooks vibes. He's like the old guy you cheer on. He's on his way out. He's about to get out. And then he has that situation where he has the stroke. Before I go on and talk about Mon Mothma, because we got a huge reveal regarding Mon Mothma and her sister. I do want to talk about two characters I think we got to keep on our radar. You made predictions earlier. Someone that was in a conversation between Saw Gerrera and Luthen, Stellan Skarsgård's character, is this guy named Anto Krieger. Anto Krieger, which I think is an original character for the show, like many of the characters that do appear. And Anto Krieger, right? He's someone like Saw Gerrera, so he has his own faction of the rebellion. He has the ISB captures, according to Deidre, one of his pilots. So it's the second time we've had Anto Krieger name dropped here. But we also get another potential leader of a faction of the rebellion and someone who's like on the underground scene but still has some notoriety. I'm going to pull up the guy's name. Davos Skulden, Davos Skulden, I believe the name is. So when you have Mon Mothma approaching Tay regarding the funds, right, and trying to launder that money, which feels so real compared to like many of the anti-hero type stories we've seen in recent like history, but they're trying to have someone, right, to funnel money through, and they want to do it without inconspicuously. He is someone I think we should have on our radar because he is like someone that even Mon Mothma doesn't want to have any relationships with. But like after that conversation between Tay and Mon Mothma, it made me like Tay a lot more because I know Tay is all in now and he's willing to get dirty for the rebellion as clean he appears from first appearance. Those are just two guys I was going to keep an eye on. I don't know if you have anything to add.
I'm trying to think like who's an actor that was cast in this that we haven't seen yet,
I don't
and
know.
I don't know.
But
So I'm
like
trying to
we
think of
didn't
who's
know
gonna play
about
this
Circus
Davos
earlier,
guy.
you know?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
would you want to see?
I have no idea what type of guy this is.
I'm just trying to think of it like a same type of actor, like a great supporting actor in a lot of prestige TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly like I don't even know what type of character it is, so it's hard for me
True.
to
Like who you can
say a
see in
guy.
Star Wars, like the fact that like Stellan Skarsgård in a Star
Samuel
Wars
L.
show,
Jackson.
or another like recasting of a Star Wars character.
Yeah,
But at least Snoke, you couldn't really tell who it was. Like
yeah.
it almost gives me a vibe like Toby Emmerich is who we just talked about, right? With
Noah. You keep thinking of the Warner
who's
Brothers
Toby?
former CEO.
Oh, Noah Emmerich. Did I say Toby earlier too?
Yes,
Why didn't you correct me the first
I
time?
did.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Noah Emmerich, I think, would be like a classic guy to take on this role, but he's also just a classic good guy, so he wouldn't really fit. But it's like that's
Right.
the type of vein of guy I'm talking about.
Ed
You know?
Harris.
That'd be legit. If we had if we had different faction leaders of the rebellion, Stellan Skarsgård, Forrest Whitaker, and then Ed Harris, I mean, take all my money. Right? I will sign up if they're in future seasons. Are you kidding me? Yeah, good stuff. One thing I brought up, Mon Mothma has a sister. And
Is
who
his
is that?
sister or cousin?
Did I say so? God, correct me more.
I'm trying.
Cousin is who? It's Vel. Vel, someone deep
Good
inside
twist.
Luthen's rebellion. Great twist. Did you see that coming? I mean, I saw them look like with one another. I'm like, they kind of do look like each other. You know, when you think about it, they just have such different, not personalities, but it just seems like they just have such different like actual actions in the show, right? What they do and how they do it is so different from one another. You just never think of them as sisters. I thought it was a cousins. I just thought it was a genius move.
I didn't see it coming. That's good. I liked it. And it was funny at dinner when they're like, "Oh, you should find a husband," and they both look at each other and laugh. Like I think like, oh, like
She knows everything about her
yeah, like she
except
does.
her relationship with Luthen.
Yeah, which I found odd. I did find that odd, but
She sees
Probably setting
Luthen.
up
Mon
something big.
Mothma sees Luthen so much and never like brings up her sister. Maybe I missed something
Cousin.
in a conversation. Cousin. I'm about to like hang up on this podcast. I do have to change the topic.
Yeah, one more go at this.
All right, last try, and then we call it. But yeah, I thought it was a good twist that her cousin was introduced as Vel.
Little D's cousin.
Cousin, and we say cousin. I think of cousin now from the Bear, Ebon Moss Backrack, episodes 3 through 6 of Andor. Anything else you want to add? I think we could do 3 stars in a sec, but I think we got to pull up like the IMDb of Olaf. Because what I immediately thought of, Olaf, the old man here, I made the Brooks connection, but like from Shawshank, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Him at the beginning.
Yep.
And afraid of Ronan, the accuser. Not Ronan, the accuser. And he's also in something else I saw. I'm going to look it up right now, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but I thought
he looks so familiar. Yeah.
He does look familiar. He's probably been in a lot, but I thought of Guardians right away. That just shows the impact of Guardians. He's probably been in a bunch of other famous stuff. He's so old, but
we got to look this up though.
I thought you had it up.
No, I have to look it up. Olaf actor Andor
episode 8.
Loud.
There was an emotional moment though in the episode. That was pretty good. The way they handled that.
What is it? So this guy's name is Christopher Fairbank. So let's look up his IMDb really quick because he's going to be in a lot of stuff. I mean, that sounds like British.
Fairbank.
All right. So what is he in? Look at his known dude. He's the guy who talks about Johnny Gobbs. Batman 89. Beginning of the movie.
That's a large pull. I would not have thought of that right away.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
No, I don't.
How the big reveal of Michael Keaton when he puts up the wings, they're talking about Johnny Gobbs got caught, whatever. And then it was the first guy that Batman got.
I remember the scene, but I'm not putting a face to it.
Wow. He's Johnny Gobbs, dude. He's not Johnny Gobbs. The guy talks about Johnny Gobbs. I'm going to send you a picture after the end of this podcast. You're going to be like, oh, it's that guy. He's the beginning of Batman 89. Those 2 guys who robbed the woman who's very reminiscent of like, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what scene you're talking about. I'm not putting a face to the name right now.
Okay. Do you have 3 stars of the episode? What do you got?
This is a tough one again.
Very hard.
I got to go Circus 1. I think he was good. He made the ending. Overall, his turn. He's got to be 1 for me. And then the rest is tough. I guess I'd go Deidre and then Johnny Gobbs guy.
Olaf.
Number 3. I'll put Olaf 2. I'll put Olaf 2 out of respect. And then Deidre 3, just because she dominated screen time.
I got Keno Loy 1, Andy Serkis. I got Cassian Andor 2, and I got Olaf 3. I think there's a lot of great characters being introduced, and the fact that we're connected to Olaf, barely having known him, basically only through this episode, it says a lot about the writing of the show. And it says a lot about the performance from Fairbank there. But Cassian Andor, I think people are forgetting how good Diego Luna is as this character.
There was a scene here that they span away. So Andy's asking Andy Serkis when they're all in bed, like how many guards. The first time he's doing it, then they pan away the camera, so it's not looking at anybody but the hallway, and then it's Diego Luna yelling, "How many are there?" Like, why include that? Why?
But they don't show his face doing that, right?
Right, but that makes it worse almost
because he knows no one's listening.
I'm just saying.
That's why he screams
it. I don't like it, but
that's not his fault. Like there was nothing.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. Like
he's 3 stars pushing Kino though. Yeah.
Besides 3 stars, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying I just thought of that. That's why I brought it up. I wasn't saying it as a knock against him specifically.
Gotcha.
It's just a part where I was like, why? But yeah, I don't know. Just not enough for a star for me.
Did you see the rumor about Diego Luna?
No.
It's not substantial, but I did see that he was being eyed for a role in Fantastic Four, potentially as Reed Richards.
What?
I can't see it.
That's awful casting. No way. I don't believe it.
Unsubstantiated rumor.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I saw this other guy. Um, what's his name?
Not the
I
guy who got
forget.
cast in Quantum Mania, right? William Jackson Harper.
No. Oh, yes.
He's
That's
in
the one I saw.
Quantumania, but he's someone
I
else.
saw rumors that he's going to be Reed Richards, and that's how they're going to introduce him. And I was going to get mad at that, but I'm glad that you're
No,
saying
but I
no.
don't hate the idea of him being involved, like getting them out of the quantum realm is a
That's
good way to
why, yeah,
introduce Reed
that's the
Richards.
theory I saw.
I think it's gonna be someone we don't know until the actual movie happens, and that's where we figure out if it's John Krasinski or someone else.
I
That's my
don't want it to be
prediction.
Reed Richards. I don't want fantastic. Like we talked about with Doctor Doom. I don't want Fantastic Four characters being like minority character or minor characters in other movies. They
Whoa,
deserve.
whoa.
I meant minor,
Yeah, I know,
minor
I was kidding.
supporting, not even supporting. Like the
As a
10-minute
way to
cameos,
introduce, yeah, as a way to introduce,
extended
like
cameos to
we
be
want them just
introduced.
introduce own movie.
They deserve it.
It's what's just. Spider-Man didn't get that treatment.
The
Civil
answer is
War.
justice.
Let's end it there. That's going to do it for our review of Andor. That's going to do it for episode 165 of the Drive-In Podcast. Make sure if you are watching on YouTube right now, you're hitting the like and subscribe button. Also comment. If you comment, we're going to comment back because we're nice folks. Make sure if you're listening on whatever platform you prefer, you hit the follow button so you're tuned in for every episode. We're going twice a week here. Huge movie season we're about to enter. Buckle up. Can't wait. Weird Al next week. And then we also have Causeway, right? Apple TV, Jennifer Lawrence, and Brian Tyree Henry. Make sure you're also following us on our social feeds at the Drive-In Pod on Instagram and Instagram. Pay attention to that TikTok that might come out later this weekend regarding antiheroes. All right. That's going to do it. And make sure to tune into the blog, Dr. O getting after it this weekend. That's going to do it for episode 165 for Ricky Flicked and Dr. O. Until next time, we will smell ya.